This video will get you up and running quickly with ChatGPT on Windows. We're covering a number of sections here, so if you want to jump ahead, use the timeline below. So let's dive in. So first off is downloading the ChatGPT app. Now this is really easy. Go and Google or go to the OpenAI website and go to the download page and you'll see the different various versions here. So today we're just going to go for Windows, which is going to take you to the Windows Store. So just download and install. And once it's installed, just click on the icon and it will ask you to log in. If you don't have an account already, just quickly sign up. It should only take a minute or two. Here we have the ChatGPT client up and running. It's quite a straightforward minimalist interface here, but I'll show you where the main parts of the system are. Over in the top left hand corner here, you've got the sidebar, and this shows some of your previous chats that you might have, so you can jump back in quite quickly. Then beside that, you've got the new chat button. So if you ever want to start again with a new chat, you just hit that. And then beside it, you've got the different models. Now, depending on what plan that you've signed up with, whether that's a free or premium pro now, you'll see different models here, and different models are good for different sorts of tasks, but we can come to that in a later video. With the basic interface, it gives you some prompts here that you might want to start with. All of these are just kind of like beginning prompts for you. And you can either use them or just start typing your own in here. The other little buttons that you see along the bottom here, so if you've got a picture down here on the left hand side, that's your user account in there. And one good one to quickly go and check is to go and have a look to see what version of the app that you've got. So if you go into app, you can do check for updates, and it's going to go and bring down the latest version. So you can see here, this version is the 2024 337. So this is the main way that you interact with ChatGPT, which is typing prompts in the text box here, and these can be absolutely anything. So let's do a quick example and ask how the Matildas did last night, who were playing soccer down in Geelong. So you can see ChatGPT very quickly goes, searches the web and brings back some summary information. But interestingly, you can see it brings back information from a number of different sources and then bundles them up. With that information that's then come back, you can also then start working on that information itself. So for example, to say, how does that compare to the previous results for this year? And you can see, it brings back the recent match outcomes and what's been going on. If you want to summarize all that up, you can say, hey, why don't you give all those results in a table? And it will bring back a nice table for you, all nicely formatted, that you can then export and put into Excel or a CSV file and manipulate it more from there. So there are other ways that you can interact with ChatGPT, and a really good one is to interact using images. So for example, I'm going to upload here a picture of my cat, and there he is, and there's Tazzy, and I'm going to ask what kind of cat is this? So ChatGPT will look at that picture and it's coming back and it's saying, interestingly, it's a Devon Rex or a Cornish Rex. Absolutely right, it's a Cornish Rex cat. And isn't that fascinating, just being able to do that straight from the image? This will work with any images, and you can see here as well, they'll also work from kind of screenshots. If you're working with something on your computer, you can just take a picture there and then and it'll upload it straight into ChatGPT. You can take a photo with the camera and it'll work that way, or you can upload images from your computer. This works with images. It also works really well with documents like PDFs and Word documents as well. Now, one of the most powerful ways that you can interact with ChatGPT now is to start using the voice mode. Now, in order to be able to start that off, all you do is you click the button down here saying use voice mode. You'll start to see the circle appear, and quite quickly you can just say, hey, how you doing there?
Hey, I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. How about you?
I'm doing good. Hey, I'm doing a quick video on the advanced voice modes. Can you just say hello and tell me some important things about it?
Hello. Advanced voice modes let you have more natural conversations. They allow for more interactive exchanges,
And
and you can even...
one of the things is you can interrupt just like that, yeah?
Exactly. You can interrupt or ask questions anytime, just like a normal conversation.
That's
It's pretty
great.
flexible.
Can you say goodbye just now?
Sure. Goodbye for now. Speak
See ya.
soon.
As you can see, incredibly powerful and very easy to do. Now, an important thing to notice here is that you can only do advanced voice mode in a new chat. If you're in an existing chat, so for example, if we go back to the chat that we had about Tassie and we click on here, when we start talking in here, this is using the standard voice mode, which the latency isn't as good and the whole characteristics aren't as natural, but it's still not bad. Hey, do you want to say hello?
Oh, I get it now. You're referring to the standard voice mode. It's not as snappy, but it still works fine. If we're sticking here, I'll just type back at you for now.
That's great. You can see two different voice modes at the moment. I'm sure in the future that that'll be combined and there'll just be the advanced voice mode. A really interesting way that you can interact with ChatGPT now is what's called with Canvas. Think of this a bit like interacting with Microsoft Word, but instead of going in and editing the text, what you use is kind of natural language in order to be able to manipulate the document itself. Let me show you what I mean. So again, let's go and get some information about how the Matilda soccer team have done this year. And as before, it's gone back and pulled out the various information from various websites and give me a quick summary here. But what we really want is that we want to create an article based on this. So let's tell it that we actually want this to be an article with title and sections, but we want to open it in Canvas. And you can see here the interface changes a little bit and it's opening it into its Canvas mode. Now what's interesting with this is you can highlight specific sections and then just get ChatGPT in order to change that. So for example, we say, give me a different title. And it will just manipulate that part of it there. So it's changed the title here to Triumphs, Trials and Transitions. There's some out of the box changes that Canvas gives you as well here. So if you go down here, it's got some suggested edits. So you can adjust the length. So this will make it much shorter or longer. You can also change the reading level. Now this is really interesting. So if you want to make it, quite fancy, you've got to graduate school. If you want to go down to kindergarten or middle school, it will change the tone of it as well. So let's try that. Let's see what happens when you say, okay, well, what happens when we want a kind of kindergarten level? And you can see here that it's completely changing the way that it's talking about it. It's still the same information, but 2024 was a big year for the Matildas, Australia's favourite soccer team. Kind of real simple language, really powerful. So there's a number of out-the-box changes and edits that you can use here, but you can also use it on your own. So for example, if you wanted to change this and make this to write this in Old English, you go and just say write this in Old English, and there we go. Right, in the year of our Lord 2024 and 20, the Matildas, yon beloved soccer band of Australia, etc, etc. It'll change the tone, the feel, and any other thing that you can come up with to manipulate the article within here. When you're happy or it's got a good rough draft, then all you need to do is copy it, and once it's copied here, you can paste it into virtually anything else. Word, WordPads, Confluence pages, PDF documents, whatever you want. So in summary, we have just scratched the surface of what ChatGPT can do just now, but I strongly recommend you download and just have a play yourself. It's the absolute best way to learn. I hope you found that useful today, and if you did, please like and subscribe using the links below. It really helps. And let me know in the comments below what you find most useful and in any other areas that you think would be worth exploring. Have fun.